I feel like I should be there. That way. Oh no. Orientation locked. I think it's chat. Hi, Drew. I feel like I might have noobed it with the orientation here.
Oh, did you make it link a video or something?
Yeah.
No?
Just live.
Yeah, see?
Good.
Yeah, I reckon. I'd rather watch that.
But then I posted after.
Yeah.
Yep. It's actually spelled EB, by the way. But here we are. Who can guess where we are? Or that? You just can't know. But howdy guys, it's the first time I've been live in a long time. I'll wait a second for a few Garys to come on, but yeah. We got Brandon.
Hi.
JB Rogers. Some of his boys eating pizza. Fuck no.
I'll put the link up on our story.
Yeah, send it. Bear with us. Feel free to ask some questions, throw them in there, and we'll go through it. And I've got hay fever. Straight back to Australia. And we got hay fever. That's not ideal. I got the lens flare a little bit. True. I'm live.
You're live? It's good, brother. Get in here. Good
There you
seeing
go,
you.
Sonny.
Long time no see.
How's things?
Hello, live stream. How are you doing?
Timmy Rogers.
Mission to send.
JB Rogers' brother.
Yeah, big brother, big brother. How's things? What's good?
Oh yeah, a bit of this, bit of that. Just been.
Traveling about the place?
Yeah. There's not much. Yeah.
We'll do the catch up off live stream. What do,
Nah,
what do
it's
we have
perfect.
going on
It's-
here?
It's a good little update, people.
Good little
They're probably
update?
gonna want to
yeah?
know.
God, I didn't know
works.
you were here.
I'm here. So
Yeah, sick.
I basically landed yesterday morning early.
Yesterday morning, had a bit of a rest day. Got your things together.
Pretty
And
much.
what's the go? What are we doing?
Don't know, just straight into it with the team and
Straight back into the keep and read stuff.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, don't know. It's been pretty full on. So
Come on,
just trying to get
sneak
back.
peek,
Little sneak peek. There's
update.
going to be plenty of updates. Don't
I
worry.
know.
That's the whole point.
I'm
But we're going to be
excited.
talking obviously Drift Fest and
Yep.
yeah, a bit
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
year. I mean, it's been a pretty wild year being on the road all year with the fam and
Yeah, it's been crazy to watch.
yeah.
Driving's like elevated heaps.
You know, hold that for a sec.
How many hands?
Yeah,
Cameraman. I don't know.
Driving
Thanks,
is
Brandon.
elevated heaps. Content's sick, and yeah, it's sick to watch you keep traveling around the place. So definitely keeping up to date.
Nice. It's good to hear. It's been wild. It's been insane.
Mm.
It's like hard to put in words, honestly, being on the road all year. It's like nothing you can prepare yourself for. 3 kids and
Yeah,
a
that's
wife and
that's taking on like another level to it, isn't it?
yeah.
So yeah, you've got your whole drifting going on, and then a whole nother family life that you're exploring America with. So it's
That's
pretty
been
sick.
crazy.
And then joining the two together.
That's it. And we did it. We got through. Whole year done. Whole country done. Seen more of the States than I have of Australia. There was nothing in Australia.
Yeah, I think there's a bit more to see over there.
East Coast is all you need to worry about. Sorry, people in WA, Perth. I'll make it there one day, I'm sure.
One day.
I've been to Tassie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just in there.
Just.
No, but good to see ya. Sure, I'll
Thank
talk
you, sir.
soon.
We'll get into where we are in a second. So let's have a look at these comments real quick. I'll relieve you of your duties, Brandon.
Yeah,
This is annoying. This is annoying. I've got to hold a microphone and a phone. So let's have a look. Yeah, but then if I want to talk to people, they can't hear your ass.
Don't you have 2?
I do. All right, so we got 0 questions, so that's nice. Come on, guys. How was your first proper Aussie meat pie premium, even though it was 7-Eleven? It's funny, you just take those little things for granted. The the foods and so the list of things that I need to try is I need to get back on the HS pizzles and the. Can I walk on this? Okay. I'm just ruining JB Rogers. Yeah. So, anyway, as I was saying, the HSP is number 1 on the list. Then we've got the Palmer, number 2 on the list. And what's the last one? No, something. I've gone like mental blank right now on foods. What's the food that I need in my life again, Brandon? Now I'm back here.
I don't know if it's the food. You need the like post-event HSB hangout.
Yeah,
But that's more the vibe. It's definitely not the food.
Australian food. JB Rogers. We need to go through. I need to give the tour. And actually, I've just been teasing where we actually are and what we're doing. Where are we?
We are at myself and another drifter called Steve Dart. We're into RC drifting, so we decided to get a building, and then we've built a little track inside, and we've been working on it for the last 3 weeks. Jason's dying of hay fever, as always. Welcome back to Australia.
God dang it.
Yeah, we've been grinding on it for 3 weeks, and its first official kind of soft launch is tomorrow. It's all pretty much at the point where people can drive and enjoy the track. So if you like RC drifting, follow RC Drift VIC on Instagram, and we'll keep you up to date. And
Oh my god.
you can get into it because it's way too much fun, and you don't have to be into drifting. It's all types of people. Come down, hang out, talk crap, drive your car. It's cool. Good time. So yeah, it's behind me.
Where are we?
In Keysborough, Melbourne. So southeast suburbs, southeast.
Where can they find the address or whatever if they want to do? They do want to come down.
So you can Google. We're on Google. So
It's on
RC
Google?
Drift Vic in Google, and it'll come up with the address. It probably says temporarily closed because we haven't got the hours in yet, but that'll be changed pretty quick.
Open 24 hours.
You can come down now and see Jason Farron.
True. Put you on the live stream. Get down here.
Ask you million questions.
That's pretty stream, don't care.
It's pretty cool. It's probably one of the more serious tracks in Australia. It's a pretty young sport. It hasn't really been developed. Hobby, I guess you would call it, not a sport. So we've gone all out on it. We're going to run comps and stuff, mini comps, which are easy to organise when you organise main, like drifting comps, which are hard as shit because you guys go missing all the time. They gotta run around the pits and find you. No one can go missing here. It's like, get back inside. You're up. So it should be good.
It's cool. Give us a little quick tour. You can hold this if you want to talk. You can talk.
Yes. How many people we got? How many goes we got? Oh yeah, getting there. So still a work in progress, as you can see. Hanging some Naboris. We've got the LZ World Tour start line banner up there, donated graciously by Keeper Reet. Some random Naboris, but this is the track down here. It's kind of a random design, but what we sort of drove it over and over and over again and decided that this feels good. Every corner's kind of different. It's got like a long sweeping corner into a straight, which allows like a nice big flick down there, little hairpin, another flick off a straight and into a tight section. And then you go down, obviously the back corner, nice big straight where you can huck it in, big angle. So you really have to drive it to experience it. But we'll have, eventually we'll have hire cars here. So if you want to come try it, you can use one of the hire cars that'll be well set up and you can give it a go, see if you like it. Then you can spend all of your money on RC drifting. Tell me that's an N14 Triple S Pulsar. I don't know what it is. It's some type of Pulsar.
I think it is.
I don't think it's a Triple S. It is?
Yeah, it is.
It is. There you go. There you go. Pulsar things.
SR20.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I don't know anything about them. But yeah, we can do you want to do a tour probably?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? While we wait for people to jump in. So, as I said, work in progress. Ignore the front counter. It's just random tables right now. But a little bit of pits, TV for the Drift Masters late sessions. You obviously stand along here where we are now and drive. Got the tunes, the most important thing. And if you follow me upstairs, the stairs of death. We've sort of, obviously you need a pit lane, real drifting, same thing. You got to put your car somewhere, you got to do little tweaks to make it do the backies and all that. So we've got a pit area that fits about 20, 22 people, something like that. All the power along everywhere to charge your batteries. So we're pretty well equipped for anything you need if you want to drift an RC drift car. What do we got? You got some questions? Mad track layout. I don't know. Took a lot of grinding to get it right, but it should be good. If you do have a drift RC car and you are in Melbourne, we're going to be open over the weekend. It's like half price entry for the first weekend just to come and suss it out. So if you've got one, then come down. You've answered those questions. What's your favourite memory from America?
No, I haven't. I'll start
Brother
to go
Dan.
through I'll start to go through some questions.
I'll hand you this back and you can have a chat.
Thank you, sir. Nice. I was in the middle of trying to eat some foods because it's been a wild day and we're obviously getting on and I'm jet lagged. Let me just get this thing up. God dang it. Okay. Oh my God, I'm dying. This is premium, JB Rollers. You gotta show us that car real quick. You have to. The Mini Kang Gang. Ooh! I'm leaking on your track. So good. I loved it. Need the wagon shell. I was so close to getting one. Well, I've still got the potential to grab one. They're extremely rare. All right, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna grab a tissue so I can wipe my ass because I'm leaking everywhere. Hay fever things, rundown things. That's better. Get outside. All right, let's sit down. Yeah. Oh, howdy Garys and Garyettes. So, okay, so we got some Drift Fest questions. I'll try not to talk too much about guests coming, not coming, and blah, 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 as it's a forever work in progress, but we do have some cool ones to be announced soon. I'll be back in Australia for a few months, so pretty much got to head back for Formula Drift next year around February to get the car ready. I do have some people on board, and I've got a new shop. If you haven't seen in the latest videos, we kind of shop right next to Chris Forsberg's in the States, which is literally a few doors down in the same area in Costa Mesa, Southern California, close to LA, whatever you want to call it, 30 minutes from LA on the west coast. And I got the barrel wags and VL, and finally got a little shop space so I can get stuff done and get ready to blaze. All right, so quick read. All right, VIP tickets, that's definitely a brand in question, but I have a feeling that most of it is up on the website, or all of it is up on the website. Could be wrong, but I've just been trying to get back in the flow of things and find out what's going on and get some marketing out there to sell some tickets to this thing and build the hype. And that's basically why I'm on here too, to give you any inside goss of exactly what this Drift Fest event even is. And yeah, so I'll give you a quick rundown. So there's a few of you on here now, and so Drift Fest, obviously something that I put together from what I'd seen in the States, us hosting the LZ World Tour, and yeah, I just kind of saw from the LZ Tour we basically maxed out how many people we could bring to an event in Australia for drifting. And it started with obviously Mr. LZ and working with Dave Egan as well and the Drift Games team and putting on something really cool, something I saw as the pinnacle of the sport at the time and still is such an amazing thing that they're still doing, and I think they've got plans again to continue it next year, which is great. I'll try to keep being involved and getting around it, because always about seeing things that innovate for the sport, and we're trying to bring now our own thing, something that we can call our own, see what we can do with it, and trying to basically push the sport in Australia and the world in our own way. And the way we can see that doing that is bringing external things that will draw a crowd. Number one being the Reet race, which we did our first test. JB Rogers absolutely nailed it with getting the team onto building the cars and getting some guests involved, and that's it. True. And yeah, and they pulled it off and did a great job. Everyone loved it. And we're going to do a much more intense version on a full track in January at Drift Fest. And yeah, someone was asking, do you want to grab the other mic?
Yeah,
I may as well, because then you can answer some questions. It's just on the table in there. We'll get Brandon involved as well, and then I can not just be me talking the whole entire time. But yeah, so that's one part of it, the Drift Fest, where we get, the idea is to bring all different audience, so not just, not Drift, not just Adam LZ, Jimmy Oakes, Grant.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good. And so they're all like very similar audience, and we basically maxed that out. So I think we had about 8 or 9,000 people at that event, and we had like no preset, no tickets at the gate were really sold. So that to me said that we'd hit everyone that wanted to come to the event was there. Anyone that was interested in drifting or those guests or...
We need to grow drifting.
Yeah.
We need to bring new people in.
And backing off that, it wasn't just that event. We tried so hard with multiple series. We ran the Drift Championship.
Battle Royale before that.
And then Battle Royale for a few years, I think. We did our first test probably 3 years ago. And that had good hype. And then leading into us trying to run a full series. And we just couldn't make it work. We were really struggling to get a crowd down when you compare it to back off our Friday night drift.
It's also like 15 times the effort to run a competition, which was really hard because, you have the whole team like sweating everything. We all bleed our heart and soul into it to try to grow, the competition series, and then just less people show up. I think it's because the sport is hard to visually understand in a competition format without fully knowing it. Whereas like throwdown sessions, people can be like, yeah, they're just having a good time. Everyone wants to see a car crash. Like it's just,
Pretty much, that's the idea. And then, yeah, like I was saying, like getting different audiences, different influences, all the Aussie big influences, and it's not just drifters. It's coming down to like Burnout.
I'm trying to get gamers in. So,
yeah, that's it. Just anything.
Yeah.
Could be like famous golfer. Could be Michael Jordan.
Anyone that's got that.
Anyone.
Anyone that, has an interest in it that potentially they're following also could have an interest in it or be exposed to it in a beginner-friendly way. The other thing that comes off with drifting is if you don't understand it and you don't have a friend that understands it, how do you get into it, Maybe your favorite creator is into it.
That's it. So, what's next? Don't know. Oh, God.
Robin, I saw your comment about Nasonex. Jace is on everything. He can't avoid
I'm actually not.
Oh, he was on everything. It doesn't work.
During the season. It's always when I'm run down. I mean, off a flight, jet lag, stress, never helps. So, sorry, backing off on Drift Fest, last part of it that I saw works really well in the States is music festival. So Grid Life, absolutely nailing it. Yeah, music festival. How can you go wrong? We've got something for everyone now. So we've got some racing, we've got just pure entertainment, people ramming each other, trying to win the grand prize.
Have you watched any of the other creators' Reet race videos?
I had time to watch one, I think. Need to watch more.
So very, very enjoyable. I definitely like the having fun with it, like the Le Mans style start and just the idea of like funny penalties when people mess up. We actually had a plan to have people go back through the return lane, like where you G them up for Friday night drifts, and no one broke their car on track. So it was like if they broke it down on track, would make everyone pit up and go through the whole crowd and G everyone up. But it honestly went so smoothly. It was good.
It was very cool. So if you don't know what it is, it's Reet Race, and it's our take on the Freedom 500, which is Ford versus Holden, just like a spec race. So dead stock cars, automatic. Only modification you can do is
Obnoxious ones.
is safety mod, so roll cage, steering wheel, seat, and then a straight pipe exhaust, because you have to, because we need all the sounds in the world to make these race cars sound racy.
Did you hear what happened to Tarly's?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Tarly got dogged by James. So James pretty much like slaved on all these cars, getting them ready. Lock diff as well, I should say. Lock diff was the only other mod, just so because we don't want single peggers pegging around. We want to see them kicking out and getting full grip and full speeds, and actually being able to handle them, because full race car, obviously, with standard suspension, don't care. And yeah, anyway, TJ's was really slow and he couldn't figure it out, didn't know why. And they got back, and I don't know how they figured it out. You can probably tell.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't even know.
I think James was just pondering it. James is a very passionate worker, so you'll definitely get the call on the weekend, like, I think I figured out what's wrong with Tarly's car. Anyway, he came in and he found that because the car was gas, they had like a restrictor ring in the intake, and yeah, apparently Tarly was, getting dogged on. Which is funny because I roasted the life out of him. I had a camera view. I'm like, what is Tarly doing? But yeah, that's more understandable now.
That's so funny. That's so funny. So yeah, the boys are at it now on the RC. We'll show some stuff. We'll get me on JB Olders and just bin it into the wall because I suck at it.
It's alright. He's got a crap one that we can use.
Okay. I used to be okay at it when I had the all-wheel drive ones back in the day. It's before everyone started going just rear-wheel drive and counter steer things, whatever that is. Let's go through some questions. What have we got?
I don't mind that Nathan's one. As drivers ourselves of Keep It Reet events, we do, like I might tack on at the end of a drift school day. I got my little BRZ there once everyone's set up. Might do a few laps, but overall it's just really rewarding to be bringing people into the sport. But if we do want to do a full drift day, we kind of have to book it off work, just because, you have to account for that.
The B3 WAG, couple of questions. Have I announced the vehicle you'll be competing in FD? Yes, I guess. I don't know, it's a weird one. I did do an official post, and basically the current WAG, so the Barra WAGs, is perfect for Pro Spec because it's got stock pedal box, stock steering column and all that, and H-pattern gearbox is the main things. So it's very easy to change a few things to get it ready for FD. First WAG and first Barra maybe in FD. Either way, pretty gangster, so that'll be fun. V3 WAGs, it's coming along slowly. We've got most of the parts. There's definitely a few things needed, but I'm trying to save funds right now and continue to grow that the sponsors for that car to make sure we can get that to the level that we want it, so it's ready for some testing next year when I come back and forth, if that happens, which I'm sure I will for a few things. And then I don't know.
VIP tickets. We are heavily on the work for them. We just want to make sure that people don't wait in a 4-hour line to meet their favorite YouTubers. So I mocked up some stuff today. Jason and I will go over it as soon as possible, and then we will hopefully be dropping them for Drift Fest. But they will be an add-on, so you can purchase your general admission and whatnot now, and don't get Grandstand if you're going to get VIP though, because we will include it in the VIP pass.
Okay, yeah. Yes, I'm back in Australia, if you didn't notice, with Brandon. If you don't know who Brandon is, he's, I still don't know what your title is officially.
Social media man or whatever's on my...
General Manager Brandon, I don't know, something manager related, but he basically manages the team down at the Keep It Reet Shoppers, aka Kangang Factory.
Any new merch? Oh, we have a banger Drift Fest lineup. Zach did some really tidy Drift Fest text ones today, and I honestly think they're my favorite. We also have like a Reet fleet collection in the works with all the cars tandeming together, so hopefully that turns out really good, and that will be dropping at Drift Fest. Maybe before we could drop some pre-order things, but we'll see. I don't like rushing designers because then you don't get, the output, like things you're proud of, and we very much pride ourselves in that. Well, he keeps scrolling. He scrolls up the comments
I'm
and then more come through.
I'm trying to see the old ones. I don't want to leave anyone feel left out. Congrats, Mike Lake, winning. Yes. The Reet race, the first one.
Oh, I saw one and I like mentally noted it, and then you zipped by it before.
With the variety of tracks in America.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you feel you were able to send the barrel wags to further limits? Yeah, it's always cool driving new tracks. It's a strange one. I don't know how to put it. I'm always trying to up what I do with any tracks, and it's definitely cool going to tracks with way different elevation, or like really long sweeping corners, just anything different. But definitely feel right at home as soon as I've done like one sight lap, just straight into it and having fun and sending it and blazing it. And definitely missed out on like some good tandems on some of those fast tracks, but it's really hard when I'm trying to keep the car in one piece and not overdo it or not ram people or whatever. But in saying that, I did do a few comps where I ran people, so that was fun as well. But really looking forward to like proper sending the wagon next year and showing what it's all about in FD Prospect next year.
Surely at least you're the... Well, I thought Jace was the only Aussie in FD, and then Luke Fink got in. Congratulations, mate. Surely the only Barra.
Definitely only Barra, definitely only wagon. But there's been some Aussies, like if anyone knows Mitch Lana from WA. He was, I'm pretty sure that maybe not the first, but one of the first. He did Long Beach, which was really cool, in a Forest Wang rental car. And then Josh Robinson, in his ute, he got his VF or VE ute together for Prospect. Got his license through FD Japan, and took his car over there, and I can't remember his results. I think he did okay, but that lasted a couple of years, maybe a couple of seasons. He was trying to get into pro, and then some things happened. Don't know. Ended up starting like a drift academy in Texas, which I actually didn't even think about. I should have gone and seen him because the last place I was in was Texas. It was just kind of all last minute with Drift Week.
I keep seeing questions about Assetto Corsa servers. Jace and Josh don't come from simming, so I think it's like less exciting for them. It is something very far in the back of my mind that I would like to have a server with all of our cars on it, and the week coming up to an event we can run the same layout and everyone can just throw down, and our events do sell out, so I think it'd be very inclusive, and I think it'd be cool. And it could also pair very well with like a beginner server to bring new people into the sport. I definitely think simming is the future of drift because it allows you to try it without buying a $30,000 car.
Yeah, it is really cool. And Josh's input on I guess you haven't done much RC, have you, Josh?
It's like the first year I've ever done it. Oh, I did it like 12 years ago. You talk about this,
Yeah, RCing and also sim.
Never any sim.
Bring JB Rolders back.
Yeah, I don't.
Did sim in Japan.
So I don't normally get around the sim because, I mean, I would if I had one and I just grinded on it for like months and months and months and just got used to it. I'm sure I could get used to it and be decent at it.
It's one of those things. It's like seat time the same as getting in a drift car. You'd think you could jump straight in it and be a pro if you were good in a drift car, but
you definitely can't just jump straight in because
it definitely doesn't translate.
Arse feeling.
Yeah, I need the arse feeling.
Like the feeling is like I reckon I could drift a lot of courses in a car that I'm used to blind, like blindfolded, because you're the feel. You know the timing and the feel and everything. But when you are on a sim, you're like missing that entire feeling. So
I think for sims, another thing is like you don't know if you're doing something wrong. Yeah. Whereas blatantly in a car, you do something wrong, you stall, you don't drift.
It's all
Whereas in a
feel.
sim,
True,
you don't
yeah.
have that
Stalling.
feel. So like there's still kind of a thing with sim that you don't get. But combine all this stuff, surely. Like JB, if he gets a sim, he does a little bit of everything. He's a master of drift.
The problem is, and I'm sure a lot of people in this chat have the same problem, is having too many hobbies. So, like, I don't think I could do... I mean, I don't really do that much real drifting now, but with this RC drifting and a sim, real drifting... like
You still do a bunch. You always downplay it. It's just because it's not in your car. You still drive the Reet fleet here and there, and then it just came from
But you
Japan.
only got so much time in your life for so many hobbies and room and in money. So, it's one day sim, it's on the cards one day, but not quite yet.
Same as here. It's just hard. I'd love to have a sim, and I definitely will get one for the kids mainly. But just having time. I've got the mic here.
Oh, you
it's all
do?
good.
Sorry.
Having time for myself time is minimal with just looking after the kids and then the business and trying to get cars going for drift stuff. It just gets wild. But someone said something about drifting, sim drifting, then going to the racetrack made it so easy for them. 100% agree. If you're going the other way around,
Oh, yeah.
sim and then to drifting, you're basically dealing the harder hand, funnily enough, because you're drifting and you're getting good at it with zero feel. So as soon as you start having a bit of feel, but you know the hand movements and everything else involved, like the clutching in and handbraking and this and that.
It's probably easier to learn that way.
Yeah.
Especially when you're young and you get into drifting, get into sims and stuff, because I feel like when you're young, you soak a lot of stuff up a lot quicker. And it's easier to sort of get in the groove.
You get all the basics down. Like, you'd probably nail a figure out straight away. And then when it comes to like doing tandems or getting close to walls, potentially, you just have like, 3/4 of the feel of it already there. And then it's...
Well, it's actually, well, we've seen proof of it. What's the Pullenburries over in New Zealand? What's the younger one's name? Can't remember it's Case and...
Cody.
I can't remember which one is the younger one.
Case is the younger one.
Case is an absolute animal. They both are. And I think the younger ones come from sim.
Yeah,
it's just a natural straight away. Like, I think when you've mastered the feel, the visual aspect and hand movements, eye coordination, then you pick up the butt feel, you're like already ahead. And the other one's Hiro Manoa.
Yeah.
Like came whatever in FD this year. He's won FD Japan rounds, he's like 14 years old. And I'm sure Nakamura's kids are probably on it, and they're like 11 years old, winning like almost D1 street legal level events.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you can barely see over the steering wheel.
The other one is, mental blank the name, but in the Drift Games team. Connor Falvey.
Yep, another sim. It's obviously the way to go, but it's good because drifting never had a place you could just grind and practice that didn't cost you a fortune. So it's definitely like awesome that sim drifting is a thing. It's definitely not a disadvantage. Do you want to sit back down, Brendan? I'm going to do some posts.
JB's got social media to run.
It is.
If you're looking to do sim drifting, you don't need an expensive setup. Just get a cheap crap one off Facebook Marketplace. Give it a crack because you might hate it, like Jace. And then
I hate it.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Josh a bit more about like how RC translates. It's all good. No, I was going to ask you like how RC drifting to you translates to real drifting.
JB's got a good case.
So RC,
he's got a good case.
It's weird because it's easier than sim.
Brandon.
It's easier than sim. It's easier than sim driving, I think. But I've always, with like things like this RC stuff, like I'll pick something up like this and I'll obsess over it. So I learn very quickly because I just like, these guys will like drive a little bit and talk. I'll be stuck there when I'm first learning, like all night.
Nail the line.
I obsess about it. But when you drive one of these cars, they've come that fast that it is actually like a small feeling of a real drift car. The transition, the throw on the wall, when you're tandeming and you get the perfect transition behind someone, it's like the same feeling. And I'm tipping you probably get that from sim when you get good at sim. Yeah, it's a similar feeling. It's not quite the feeling that you get in a real car, but I think this probably would help you it would translate over because you get your timings right. Like what a car does when it transitions. If you transition a bit too early, you'll cut in. And if you transition a bit too late, you'll fall back or whatever. And your line and your timing, like it all translates across the board. It's just
pick up little techniques.
Yeah. It's obviously like when you're steering a wheel in a sim, you're probably picking up a lot more because you're steering the wheel.
I was going to mention the young Hunter lad that drives our
Yeah,
Vics.
Kerry Hunter Kerry.
Apparently one of his mates is in here and he learned all on sim.
Yeah, Hunter Kerry's been one I've been watching for the better part of 2024. A young lad that comes from some type of speedway saloon racing on dirt, I believe. His old man and himself have made the transition over to drifting, and he's 16 years old. I think 3 Friday nights ago he won the biggest entry, like genuinely won it, chosen by the crowd too. So like the crowd, I mean, he didn't have, the crowd wasn't all his friend. They just chose him because he did the best backwards entry, big entry. So definitely, like, we've got some good talent in Australia and Victoria that I want to keep an eye on. I'm definitely keeping a close eye on Hunter. Just even for Keeper Reed's sake. Keeper Reed are keeping a close eye on him for some potential stuff in the future maybe.
Okay.
So support
know.
young drivers is something Keeper Reed want to do.
100%. Big time.
All right, Brendan, I'll leave you to it.
Oh, yeah, he'll be back. Sorry, guys. He'll be back in 2 seconds. I've seen so many questions about how to get into RC drifting. And
It's so hard to concentrate on the questions versus trying to get through what we actually want to talk about versus jet lag. But yeah, a couple of things I wanted to touch on with Drift Fest was some of the, like, I don't even know what you call them, the bisections of the event, which is, so we've got Thrash Kings section. So these are kind of things we haven't really announced. So I wanted to go over the Thrash Kings section, how we're going to run that, what it even is, and the 324 ever, class. Not really a class, definitely another section or segment to the event. And basically that's a way to involve the cars that we want to see there, as in like the really show off, blaze tyres, put on a show, like unique builds. And then the Thrash King side is, 324 ever is obviously in Levi's name and in his legacy. Passed away from brain cancer, which is not cool. And we just want to basically, acknowledge him and his vibe. It was an amazing part of the sport. So yeah, he had a really cool car at the LZ Tour. If you saw the open wheeler, hot rod style, just gangster V8 stacked out of the hood.
Absolutely throwing down with other cars
Yeah.
that would just not care if they crashed, in this one-of-a-kind
Madman.
car.
Can't even see out the window, and he's running his open wheel like almost along the wall.
Oh, I saw in-car footage of that thing and I'm like, what? It looks so hard.
Just cool vibe. He'd been driving. He'd been around the sport and supported it for years, and with his family as well, with his dad, which is really cool. So hope for them, for his wife and his dad to be involved in the event and have a stall. But that's all in discussions at the moment. But it's cool to get approval from his wife on just running his name as a just to show legacy of Levi's honour. Back to the Thrash Kings. That's it. Never lift. Back to the Thrash King side. So obviously that's under. If you watch the recent videos about the Jaeger, and so Chris the Jaeger and his legacy, Thrash Kings was the brand that he came up with before him passing, and yeah, we're basically just trying to run the essence of that, which is just like the right attitude in the sport, the really standout driving, so really showing your skills and setup of a car with big backies, and just cool driving, just hard driving, pushing doors and all that sort of stuff. So what we're doing with that is to kind of involve the whole country, and a lot of drift organisations around the country too, and so we don't have to pick and choose who's in that. We're going to pass on the reins to those local organisations to pick, still refining numbers, but I'm going to say around 3 drivers for their club to represent, and also represent the state. So there's, just off the top of my head, there's around 10 or so clubs around Australia and Tasmania. So we want to get them all to bring people to represent, and basically throw down team drift style competition, choreograph your own runs, what you think's cool, whether you want to run the wall and run doors together, if you want to 360 in together, if you want to do backies together, whatever it is, just put on a show, make it look sick for the crowd, and the crowd and judges will judge, and get an overall winner for the, their state, and their club, which is really cool. Represent. So that takes a bit of the pick and choosing off us, which is also nice because it's not a nice feeling trying to choose, either 16 or however many we can get.
How many spots do you have? There's like what, 50 drivers the whole event, and you've got how many drifters in Australia that want to drive the event?
There's so many people that are worthy in their own way, so it's just never nice feeling.
Better to let the other areas pick the people that they put up for this time, and hopefully in Drift Fest to come that they can nominate drivers throughout and things can repeat. There's local heroes. JB's idea of bringing some of the Victorian drivers into it, because obviously similar problem is that we are an Aussie-built business, and there's so many people we work with that drive all of our events and just want to have a good time, and they are a great part of it. And we want to do some rowdy stuff with them. Like Josh brought up many years ago, being in a train at Vic Drift of like 8 people, and just like how that was a crowd stopper, and we want to do our own version of that.
Yeah, for sure. People that have supported Keep It Reet and have the Reet vibe, kind of like a bit of a give back and give them a chance to thrash in front of a big crowd. So hopefully all this comes together. This is all prospective ideas, and a lot of it we're putting into play right now. But it's cool to be able to like share them with you guys firsthand and get a bit of an idea of the brainchild of what is Drift Fest and how it's all going to come together and how it's going to be the best show you've ever seen. So tell your grandma. What else have we got in here?
It's a dumb comment there.
Okay. Have a
Hell for a review comment.
Honestly,
Keep It Reet come to Tassie. I want to go to Tassie in general. I don't know about Keep It Reet.
360s make that crowd go wild, 100%.
360s up to the walls, pretty hectic. Might need a bit more sim practice for that one.
I think someone said something about show and shine. There's definitely going to be a big show and shine. There's something that we'll announce soon, hopefully.
A lot of things will get in motion coming into next week. We've had a hectic week trying to line up the back end of all of this. And then next week it will come to, us reaching out to people. Oh my God.
Loud noises. I'm trying to go back to that, see if there's any decent comments that we might have missed, but there's not really much there. So
yeah, we picked up from there.
Yeah, we picked up most. We're all good. If anyone's got any more questions about US or some of the men's mental health, I guess we could probably touch on that with, revolving Drift Fest around bringing awareness to men's mental health. If you saw the video that I did about the Jager and his story and his struggles, and how that kind of really changed the direction of Keep It Reet and refined it and brought my awareness really to that we're all very similar in how we basically use drifting as a mask or hiding something or therapy or whatever it might be. So I'm really trying to get people that are going to be involved to share their stories and then at the same time have organisations involved as an outlet to whether it's going through your problems, like have a resource there, I should say, so you can go there and grab a card or chat to someone or basically help you get through whatever you're going through. What's your favourite memory from America? That's a hard one. I'm gonna have to think about that one because.
You also got favourite track before.
Favourite track?
How loud's that for you guys?
So we're right next to, someone asked, we're in Keysborough right now at JB Rolder's new RC drift shop. We'll do a walk around in a second. JB's just doing some laps right now. And it's also right next door to Trent and Kat's Checker tuning shop. I think they're trying to close up and they're trying to open the door to...
For all headphone users?
While he's doing that, we'll go for a walk around inside. And then I'll answer your questions. I'm sorry. Oof. Ah. Pressure's on. You're on live stream now. The Kang Mahan style entry.
With a mad whip.
Yeah, you have to whip that ass. Ah. Pretty sweet. All right, I think he's got that door open. So. He's bringing some Yaris out or something. Yaris. Is that a Yaris or a Corolla? I don't know. Chibi, we'll find out real soon on the next episode of
Dragon Balls.
Dragon Ball.
All drifters watched Dragon Ball Z growing up. There's some weird association. Oh my god.
It's illegal. That's a Corolla. Yeah. Just live streams.
So he's gonna do an anti-lag for us.
Kang. Anyway, what was I answering? Track and memory? Favorite track and memory?
Oh yeah,
Of the
yeah.
US before I got sidetracked. Favorite memory still got to think about so much. Like, yeah, did way too much. Like, brain can't compute how much we did traveling that whole country. I think honestly the biggest thing that I'll remember is, you know, one is just the variety of tracks and the people, but probably the biggest take is like some of the really cool like natural landscapes or places. Some of the really like typical American, like almost video game style landscapes of like the Grand Canyon style, or like it's like the barren lands of like just roads, like really nice roads through like just rocky landscapes, or like the red rocks of Sedona, or up like north through near like Yellowstone, like Grand National Park. So like just the really tree, hilly, just green, and like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Just like typical American style, like really tall trees, like redwood forest, really high trees. I don't know, it's crazy how much it changes over that country. I feel like here it's all just like flat and desert.
Yeah.
No, there's definitely some cool places here, especially when you venture into any tropical Queensland or like the hill. Oh, back to Horana, I forgot you were here. Here's my boy.
The strongest.
Chonkus. Favorite track? I'll have to go with a couple of tracks. So the Drift Appalachia Mountain Road is not a track, but insane, because doing mountain roads legally is next level. The second like track or thing that I drove would have to be, Laguna Seca. Like, I didn't even know what that track was until I went there. I didn't even look up anything. I was just like, oh, that sounds cool. I've seen some videos. And then like when driving it and after it, seeing all the video game stuff about like how many video games it's actually been in and how iconic it was and how many years it's been going and whatever. It's just insane. Like the elevation is like next level, and the speed in the first corner and trying to link it down the turn one and down the corkscrew, and honestly the corner after the corkscrew, neck level. Well, yeah. What do you want? You get your water? No one's feeding you water.
Got a whole bucket of water.
Oh, he's got it?
Yeah, a huge bucket.
Is he drinking it?
I went for it straight away.
Fullback, Doriana. What else we got? What's Jassy doing? He was literally just here before. Come and said good day.
He's whipped.
He's whipped. So I was trying to get him on the live stream, but he had to go see the masses.
Chonkus, what are you doing?
He's an all-in with the masses kind of guy. He was. I was his masses when I was here. So as soon as I left, he took it as a bad breakup. So he couldn't handle it. Should say that. He always had high sights on running his own thing. So it was really cool to for him to be very upfront and honest about that. And then us make a plan for him to transition out of the team, and yeah, us just fully supporting that. And yeah, we did the videos and whatever, and he's doing well. So if you haven't seen his shop or following it, Jay's Performance, is it Jay's or JS?
JS Performance.
JS Performance.
Took him
Jassy,
so long to pick that
Jassy
name.
Scott Performance. Good name. Good name. Where are we at? What should we expect with the Drift Collective? So I feel like I'm full out of the loop, but that's
I'm
the,
a little bit out of the loop. JB goes and has like 6-hour calls with all the people from around Australia.
that's JB Rolder's just doing his thing. That's his brainchild with Stu Bryan and Brody Mayer from Tassie, Drift League, Drifting SA, and Cooper Reet collaboration, which is really cool. Just in full support. That was kind of like
Especially
my
without
involvement
us.
was was Josh pitching the idea of what they had pitched to him, and me saying yes.
Especially without a competition series. This
Always
year.
going to support like cool ideas like that, and Stewie's always said something about it when we've had our 5-hour phone calls as well. So always about it, and you can't really go wrong with something like that. We all know what we're doing when it comes to competition and running events. So when you collaborate with something like that, I feel like it's a really good direction forward. With, we're struggling to make a series work, so that's why our brainchild was Drift Fest and doing something big and different to draw a crowd and make it work, and still put on an amazing show, like best possible show we could think of. Then when you pass that down the line to national series or collaborative ideas like this, I think it's the next kind of like hype, like when you're bringing different ideas from each state and proving things, and then the drivers along with it. You really get the support of everyone. Next.
That's what drifting needs.
It is. We're coming on to an hour. I don't want to go much longer than an hour, so
You guys are going to hit your allocated time. Ask all the good questions now.
Time. We've got to get back to the fans.
If you ask enough questions, Jace just won't stop.
It is. Are you eventually going to bring Reet and mental health events to Queensland, New South Wales tracks? Queensland's hard because it's already, I don't want to step on toes with what people are already doing in those tracks up there. Always will support, so there's a few guys doing some really cool things. And so I just don't feel like there's a need. So if there's no need, then I'm not going to step on toes there. I'll just prefer to support.
I think the start of going like around Australia is actually just more so appearing at more things,
Yeah.
Whether it's like
Pretty much.
we're hiring a car and bringing just a small setup or something.
Love having presence, and like obviously, yeah, I think you mentioned that comment with mental health as well. Always going to support, and we'll just do what we can to try and bring that awareness to all drivers, and whether that's through the YouTube channel or through us being present at those events, or just, yeah, I think it starts with the awareness, and hopefully that spreads on to other organisations and drivers, and that's the idea. But Ritsuri is basically just our take on a Matsuri, so we'll always work with our local tracks, and we have done them at Marulan, the Pheasant Wood, and I'm sure we'll get back there, whether we do one event next year there, or there seems to be a lot going on there already, but if we see a need or an opening, I'm sure we'll jump on it. That was some of our coolest events back before.
Actually ended up at one of those events.
Or through COVID.
I think it was like this weird gap.
Weird gaps in COVID, we managed to pull that off.
The weird gap, and you somehow can fly for like 1 week.
And they were great events. They were top notch. Some really good memories. Kang weather and just bulk drivers
I
and
remember
bulk
Marcus
track time.
McCarthy doing huge backies on that one endless corner.
So cool.
Good corner to learn it on.
Yeah, so cool. So, yeah, hope to get back there. One of the coolest tracks in Australia for sure. What else we got? When's the first practice? When's the first free practice? FND next year? No. I think our calendar's up on the website. Sorry, out of the loop.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head.
D1NZ.
Again.
True. I'd love to get back to D1NZ, but it has to be right timing, has to make sense. Whether it's like for a few rounds with a borrowed car, or whether I get to the point where I can send the car there again, I'd love to do it properly. Don't do things in halves if I can avoid it, but won't say no to a... Nah, I probably would say no to certain cars. It's always better in your own car.
Have you driven Raleigh or whatever it's called?
Rayleigh, yes, back in the day in my
Wagon?
blue, no, not wagon. This is before wagon.
Is it
Blue 31 sedan with the
Yeah.
LS. I did one of the DCA events. I did that whole season. Was that? No, that was the first time I did DCA. So the second year, I came second in the championship in the wagon with the JZ. First year, I did just a few of the rounds. So I think I did Rayleigh, maybe SA, Taylor Bend, and the Mount Gambier. Oh no, Mount Gambier was the second year. Yeah, they didn't have Mount Gambier that year.
Oh, Mount Gambier. Seems...
Memories.
You've been drifting for so long, like, I legitimately, you could be just making all this up. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
I'm making it up.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. I've seen some photos, but, you know.
Yeah, he is. What else? I don't know.
There's a Cletus. I don't know if that goes to a question, though.
Sorry, move down. I'm missing some here.
34 there.
Will there be more of the fleet race style ideas? I'm guessing you mean Reet race. And yeah, definitely try and do a bunch more. If it all works out, which I'm sure it will, because we want to make most of those cars. We've got about 6 of them.
Yeah. Workshop's looking real trash.
Yeah, we got like 6 of those nugs just chilling. So definitely try and run some more events.
If you
and
have
guests.
any, or your friends have any, please shoot us a message.
Hook us up with your nugs.
Must be auto, must be sedan, must be old, Holden or Ford. Folden. Yeah. And cheap.
Did the blue 34 blow up? Or are you just going super spicy pro car? Definitely not going pro car. I mean, it's got all the stuff to be. No, it's close actually. It's getting there. But yes, so I was supposed to come back and do an event in WA, my first time in WA, with I can't remember what the event was called, to be honest. Mental blank. Anyway, so I got invited out to drive that, and I was like, all right, cool. We'll send the 34. It's all good to go. And that motor's been going strong for a long time. And I think the boys dropped a valve or something, an event before, and damaged their head. I think everything else is good. Don't know. But anyway, they put it back together and did some stuff, and it seemed all good. And then we were committing to sending it to Perth, so it had to get taken to Sydney. And on the drive up, not the drive up, but on the way to it going to Sydney, we had a Ritsuri at Winton, and so Josh was like, all right, we'll give it a quick test to run in to make sure it's all good, ready to send on a container to Perth. And yeah, I think he did a couple of laps, warmed it up, and then yeah, tried to drift it and got the bottom end knockers. So it finally gave up. The old faithful NA plus T, 450. No, what did I make? 450 horsepower.
I don't know. It felt fast.
Definitely fast. Yeah, 300 and something, 330 kilowatts, something like that. Absolutely, yeah, loved it. But yeah, now we're just spicing it up. I don't know, we haven't really released what it's getting.
Yeah, you gotta wait. You
gotta
gotta wait.
wait. You gotta
Stay
wait. You gotta
subscribed.
wait.
Tell your mates to subscribe.
You gotta wait. All right, we got a few more minutes left. What do we got? Love seeing the GS300. You have to. The big girls, always about the big girls. 4 doors or nothing. Okay, I ever compete in Drift Masters? You just can't know. Definitely a goal of mine with the V3 WAGs. And yeah, it's either Pro FD or Drift Masters. Who knows? You just can't know. I'd love to get there if everything aligns.
Getting roasted. I say one dyslexic word. Boom!
Folden. Let's go. I want to see the Folden.
Yeah.
All right, we're kind of easing out there, so I feel like I've touched base on everything to some degree. I'd like to do more live, so I'll try and continue these in hopes that you guys enjoy them. So make sure you smash that like and yeah. If you're watching this after the fact, if I upload it, don't know if vertical was a good idea or not.
It's just a really long short.
But yeah, it's where we're at. So thanks you guys for tuning in, and I'm gonna eat some pizza and go chill out. But it's good to be back in Australia. See ya.
Feel weird, you know.
And he closes out.
Live forever.
Oh my god.
Get your thumb off their face, mate.